Hello, my English learners. Welcome. I am so happy to have you here today. Whether you're listening while walking, driving, cooking, or just relaxing, I want to say thank you for joining me in this podcast. It means a lot to me, and I'm excited to help you on your English learning journey. In today's episode, we're going to talk about something that many English learners struggle with: understanding native speakers. I know it can be tough, especially when native speakers talk so quickly, use slang, or speak in ways that can be confusing. You might be asking yourself, why is it so hard for me to understand English speakers? Or how do I keep up with their conversations? Don't worry, my friend, you are not alone. Many learners feel the same way. But here's the good news. You can definitely improve your ability to understand native speakers, and in today's episode, I'm going to help you step by step. We'll break everything down, and I'll share some powerful tips that will make it easier for you to understand native speakers and to feel more confident in your English listening skills. So, let's begin. First, let's talk about why understanding native speakers can be difficult. You might think that just knowing the vocabulary or grammar rules is enough, but that's not the whole story. Understanding spoken English, especially from native speakers, is different because of things like speed, accents, slang, and connected speech. Don't worry if those words sound confusing right now. We're going to talk about all of them. Why is it so hard to understand native speakers? Have you ever had a conversation with a native English speaker and felt completely lost? You might have caught a few words here and there, but the rest of it seemed like a blur. This is a very common experience for English learners, and it happens for a few reasons. First, native speakers often speak quickly, and they don't always pronounce words clearly. They might blend words together, drop sounds, or use contractions like I'm instead of I am, which can make it hard to understand. For example, when native speakers say gonna instead of going to, or wanna instead of want to, it sounds different from what you might have learned in textbooks or during lessons. Second, accents and dialects to make it more challenging to understand different English speakers. English is spoken all around the world, and every region has its own way of speaking. Whether it's the American accent, the British accent, the Australian accent, or any other, each has its own unique sounds, pronunciation, and rhythm. When you're listening to someone with an accent that's different from what you're used to, it can feel like they're speaking a different language, even though it's still English. Another reason why understanding native speakers is tough is that they often use slang and informal language. Slang words and phrases are common in everyday conversations, but they are not usually taught in traditional English classes. For example, if someone says, "What's up?" they're not asking for your opinion on the weather. They're just saying hello or how are you. Understanding these casual expressions is essential if you want to keep up with native speakers. Lastly, there's something called connected speech. This is when words are pronounced together so closely that it's hard to separate them. For instance, when a native speaker says, "I'm gonna go," the words are linked together, and it might sound like "I'm gonna go" instead of saying each word separately. If you're not familiar with this, it can make listening to fast speech challenging. But don't worry, all of these things are normal. Native speakers do not always speak perfectly.